All right. So I'd always said I'll try to make videos as much as I can. Um, and You've seen the videos I've made today. I think that, this thought that because this thing is happening, so it's not. I know that my testimonies are gonna not gonna stop what is happening to me. I'm very much aware of that. The reason why I make them is because there'll be a time when I will not be able to make those. This is a way for me to vent. This is for me to tell what's happening to me, and also to hopefully help somebody. But also, I know a lot of people watching my videos are perps. Perps create a reality they put together. They force you to experience the most disturbing things you can imagine and want you to identify to them. It is disgusting and it is delusional to think that me at least, will subscribe to this manipulation. I recognize manipulation immediately. That's why I continuously make videos, because I want to show a pattern of what they do. Target individual, what's happening to us is disturbing, but we have to be strong to understand that this is what this technology does. These people in front of in my neighbors, and as we know, most perps move around you and create these disturbing manipulations and the direct energy. They do a lot of things, and then they try to get you to accept these things. You just gotta know that I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let you leave that fantasy. Yes, I'm gonna experience what you want me to experience. This is something I can do as a civilian. There's nothing I can do to protect with this sophistication of technology, this unlimited amount of resources. You cannot do anything about it. Now, why I make these videos is to also let this low life trash that is contracted by this government entity will not be the reason why I subscribe to them. Now, understand they are employed and contracted to do these things. They're not at war. They tell themselves they are at war. This is what they hear from a lot of perps. It's a way to block out the fact that they do these disturbing manipulations, and they want to find a way to normalize it. And so calling it war is a way to normalize what they do to disturb you. They do things to break you down. That is their sole assignment. These very fragile human beings if you see some of them, for me at least, I would say that a lot of the perps are just not some of those mentally strong people. They're not mentally, like, there are people who just will break down in a second. This is also like part of the, I think for me, it's part of the torment, knowing that this person involved in my targeting can easily be fragilized by the most basic type of stress, while implementing the most disturbing, stressful, disturbing experience. It's just something about it. But at the same time, it feels dignified, because I'm like, you are one of the weakest mentally fragile human being I've seen. Maybe you're strong physically, but you are such a fragile human being. It will take you 2 seconds to break down. Well, me, I have to experience all these disgusting things day in and day out, and I'm still here standing. Now, there's so many strong women who are who are targeting individuals who gave me that strength. This is not because I'm naturally that strong, to be honest. It's because I've heard so many testimonies from people who experience the same things. Very strong women who've endured these things for decades, who speak with dignity, eloquence, and elegance, and well spoken, who show me like this. Look how strong these people are. That's why now I speak the way I speak. And they want you to identify with this thing. And me, I'm like, I'm going to speak just like this woman spoke. Because I'm sure what she's experiencing, they were supposed to force her to accept this as if it's happening organically. So for me, one thing they've done, and I heard my neighbors, their job is to just do nose campaign, to get you to accept these things. They tell me how they're going to frame me. This is people who tell me I'm going to die in hell, and while they do this thing for a living, right? you know, wherever they're going to end up, it's not going to be a pretty nice place. It's just for them preparing for that one way or another. For me, everything is set and orchestrated in such a way because I understand I'm a subject to this human experimentation. And so I'm going to experience the worst thing that I can experience, especially if me humiliating them because they want me to accept this thing and they wanted to create this facade that I'm not even allowing them to do. So wherever death I'm going to go through, and it's going to be painful, but it's dignified. They do these things where they force me to see kids in these disturbing ways. This is, I don't know which number of video I've made this, but they do that all the time, right? It's disgusting. They try to force me to look at kids in so disturbing ways, not only the perception, even the way they want me to look at them. Try to find ways to look at them in this disturbing sexual way. It's so nasty. What they've done now is go back to the torment they've done to me before. Bringing me back to what they've done to me. But doing some random things. I'm going through some app, some dating app. To me, those are just used to look at things. It doesn't faze me, you know. It's just like, well, whatever. And there's this woman, and she's sitting down. She's wearing a skirt, legs are closed and everything. They try to force me to look at her under her skirt. Like, it's just really trying to force me. Now, I can feel them trying to make me do that, but, you know, I'm not perfect. I've looked at women in sexual ways many times, but I can feel them doing this to me. It's like, this is just forced, but I don't care. It's a woman. It's a grown woman in her 30s. If I want to look at this woman in a sexual matter, okay, I don't care. But it's not even me naturally happening. It's them forcing me to look at her in this way. And I'm like, why did they do, like, what's the point of doing that? Then they start making me think of what they've done to me toward a kid, a little girl. Where they try to do the same thing toward a little girl. She was dressed in a skirt, like a little kid's dress. And they try to make me look at her, up her dress. Trying to, obviously, you couldn't even see that. But they're trying to make me, and they're like, you see, we matched. And they're like, oh, you see, and try to make you feel guilty. It's like, no, this is, even this woman, you forced me to look at her like that. But have I looked at a woman in a sexual way? Many times. I'm sorry. I'm not going to paint myself as a saint. But what you're doing is forcing me to look at children in these disturbing ways. And this way of like trying to match it to what you just manipulate me to experience toward a woman, a grown woman, and then try to bring back what you've done to me toward a baby, a little kid. I just said that they try to do something in my mouth. They are disgusting. Disgusting. And they're like, oh, they start making noise campaign. Because they want me to identify with the things they've done to me. I'm not going to be ashamed for the things they do to me. This is called gaslighting. Gaslighting is a method to get you to accept a falsified reality and manipulate the reality. These people who do this day in and day out, you know how many times they've done that to me? Try to make me look at a child in sexual ways. It's so disgusting. 24/7 is that. They're just bringing back something they've done to me. By using what they tried to do to me toward this woman. Now, if me on my own was looking at this woman this way, I don't care. As they try to do something, sorry. As they try to if I'm looking at a woman in a sexual matter, okay, I'm an adult. I'm looking at an adult woman. It's okay. But they are forcing me to look at this woman this way because they want to bring back what they've done to me toward a child. This is disturbing. And then they try to gaslight you. Oh, you're nothing. You're not. It's like, listen, this is the people. Well, I don't even know if all of them are grown. Some of them are probably kids. Who tell you you're nothing. These people are being groomed to do this thing. They're being trained to do these things. They work for pedophiles. I know they've normalized it in their network. But the worst part is, I know they not only torture children and women, but they force people to do this, to force people to experience these things and see things in this way. They control your eyesight. They can control how you, like, even They can make you try to look at some. You gotta be like, oh, if you let yourself go a little bit, they can control you, like what you look at. Listen to. I can bring up a testimony. A woman says the same thing. They can make you look at things they want you to look at. Literally, exactly saying that. They can make you not see something that's right in front of you. But they've been having this pattern of manipulation. That's what makes my videos. So if anybody wants to see a pattern of the type of manipulation they have, go through my videos. At this point, I'm sure I'm in the hundreds. You'll see a pattern of what they do. It's so systematic. They call this being a war. A war. Because they want you to always have some disturbing thoughts about children. And then bring up the manipulation they themselves manipulate you to experience, to create this disturbing and to break you down. Me, I'm like, I'm going to make these videos because they want you to identify with the things they manipulate. This is like, if you think I'm going to identify with just what I just say, you're delusional. Now, whatever is going to happen to me, however I'm going to die, somebody's just saying you're going to get knocked out. This is all part of, regardless of what's going to happen. It's part of me, it's part of them forcing me to experience, to accept, to identify these things. Because they're going to use intimidation, fear, to get you to accept these things. Because if somebody's going to do that to you, that means that's proof. No, that means that he or she or whatever is going to do, so whatever's going to happen to me, are involved in this program and want me to accept these things. Matter of fact, I'm not subscribing to it, but so much so that I'm going to be on YouTube and talk about it. I know the mask is for people. People know who I'm talking, who I am. But they wanted me to subscribe to these things, with these disgusting things, and now they're like, oh, we just proved it because of whatever. They have been forcing people to accept these disgusting things. I'm here to tell all the target individual, do never ever, matter of fact, make videos. If they think that you're going to subscribe to that, talk about it. They are doing this and want me to subscribe to this manipulation. I will never let them live their fantasy. Delude yourself even more. But when you see me and you think subscribing to this thing, I'm going to look at you as trash the government has constructed to force people to think this way. Live your delusional world if you want to. But I'm not going to let you live that. They're discussing trash. They're like, oh, this is the monologue. They were saying things to me. It's like, no, I'm saying things that's happening to me, and I'm passionate about it because when I talk about the nasty things they do, I find passion in the horrible, I find passion in how delusional these people are. Then they're going to see each other. See if I'm subscribing to it. You try to force me to look at a child this way. How many times do you think I've said these things? I've said this version of what I'm saying in many ways. There's obvious patterns of manipulation. This is always try to make me look at children. But the ways sometimes they try to prove that what's happening to me is happening to me naturally. Oh, but you see how you just try to look at this woman? You understand? Just take a second. One, they just made me try to look at this woman this way because they want to make me think of what they made me experience in the past. They forced me to look at this woman this way, knowing there's nothing to look at, to bring me back to when they did this toward the child and to say we matched it. Now, have I looked at women in sexual matters? Of course. Many times. I'm not perfect. But to them, it's like a match, you see. They're delusional. This is disgusting. I'm not going to let them live their fantasy. They make me look at children, or they try to make me look at children in these disturbing ways, in a sexual way. And that's like, but you've looked at this woman in sexual, what? Yes, many times I look at women in sexual, I've looked at them many times in a sexual way. This moment is falsified, but I could, me personally, could look at a woman in a sexual way. I'm not perfect. I know my imperfection. But you're forcing me to look at these kids in a sexual way. You're disgusting trash. They're delusional. I know who I am, I know my imperfection, and I know your disturbing life consists of manipulating people in these ways. They try to go me as a child. Delusional. Trash. Just now we matched it to you when you were a kid. To all my target individual, our time is all limited. I don't want to sound preachy, but understand this. There is a level of biblicalness. If it's a word, if it's a word, there's a level of, it feels biblical. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to make up some words, but it feels biblical because I understand that my time is very limited. I'm going to experience terrible things. I know these people forget about the fact that their time is limited. And while they're here doing these things, they're spending their life day in and day out to try to make me accept these manipulations. That's life for them. They're going to die too. And they're dedicating so much of their life doing this to these things that I'm not even subscribing to. And then they're going to die, not knowing how they're going to die, not knowing what's going to kill them. Forcing people to think in these ways and try to counter reality. Oh my gosh, I'm thankful I didn't have to live their life. Now I don't want to live this torturous life, of course, but there's dignity in my death. Well, these people are here trying to get you to subscribe to it, using these childlike individuals for my case, where these childlike individuals who are trying to get you to accept these things. You got to understand, there's dignity in our sufferings. Now, of course, it's not right. We should not be going through that. But you could be living like them. They have the opportunity to do whatever else they want. But look how humiliating it is to do what they do. No, I don't care if there's a million of us doing the same thing, which turn this humiliation down because so many of us are doing it. But it is truly humiliating. These people who have to dumb themselves down to the point where they're calling this being a war. I don't care whatever justification they try to create. This is humiliating. And to find out, even if they find ways to justify what they're doing to me, that this program is actually torturing children. While they're forcing you to look at children in these disturbing ways and force you to think in these disturbing ways, are in a program that do horrible things to children. They can't even try to create this fantasy of theirs. It's not even possible. They have tortured children sexually. These people that are doing this thing to me are also doing this to children. There is no way to circle around the reality of what they're part of. There's no way to escape what they're truly part of. As they force grown men and women to experience disturbing perception of children in these disturbing ways, these people are actually in a program that do horrible things to children. There is too much for them to live that fantasy. They are making noise campaign. I'm hearing doors being slammed. I'm hearing trash being hit. To counter reality. This is what this people's life is based off. Then they get so excited about my torture. Oh, our torture. Oh, gosh. You could be living that life. They work day in and day out to make you think in these disturbing ways. And then they say, oh, we're so excited. They're going to torture you for these thoughts that we are not manipulating you to have. For this manipulation, we are not doing to... Do you see how the level of delusion they have to pull together? They have to create? You got it. And they're like, oh, we're doing it for what you did as a kid. Do you know the horrible torture they do to kids? Can you imagine gasping 7-year-old because they're being suffocated using this technology? Try to distance themselves from that. No, this is the same technology, the same program that does that to 7-year-old. My point is, even if one of them or a few of them haven't done that to children, the program, which is the program that is empowering them, is doing this thing to kids. And some, if not a lot of them, have already done that to women and children. Nope. I'm not gonna let them live their fantasy. You force me to experience this, and they're gonna try to gaslight me to accepting these things. So I'm a target individual. Stay strong. There's these people who do this thing to you did not choose a happy life for themselves. They had a choice. This is a humiliating, degrading life. They wanted to be God, but at the cost of what? At least for me, that's how I look at them. They could have been doing everything in the world they wanted. And look at what they try to do at war in their sweatpants. It's humiliating. Like me dying, as they say, makes me be grateful that I didn't live their life. Because they're alive. Like, it's crazy. For me, I'm looking at them. You can see me slowly lose my life. And look at what you live, how you living life. Me, I would want to go, oh my gosh, let me go live life. Oh my God, if this could. But this delusional people is like, at war. So to all my target individual, you're lucky. These people wanted to play this femme fatale. They wanted to play this fighting radical people. Gosh. Yeah. You're radical in your sweatpants. You're going against civilians who came and protect themselves. Defenseless women are being tortured in this program. You can't even speak about rowing war. I'm saying that however I want it. You're forcing people to experience this thing. Try to call it a war to gaslight somebody into accepting this falsified and this forced experience and manipulations. There's nothing at war. Go on a break for this radical. Go 3 days, 4 days, 4 weeks. 20 of you guys, watch if anything changes. Nothing. My brain will be still manipulating this disturbing way. Still, I'll be, because it's a done deal. As civilians, our brain is for them. It's, if they your brain is taken by them, it's manipulated. There's nothing you can do. That's why you see childlike individuals like, why can these people be involved in this? Because it's that easy. And they make themselves seem like it's a game. It's like, no, it's not a game. You manipulate my brain to do these things. You can do that all day, every day if you want to. It won't take much. This technology is that sophisticated. You can be on auto. You can just be like on auto drive. They have limitless resources. I'm talking about the government entities. So you're tired, take a day off. Take a whole month off. Nothing's gonna change. People can just move in your apartment. To all my target individual, stay strong. There's dignity in your death. Do not subscribe to these disturbing things. I rather die slow, lose my eyesight, suffocate like a 7-year-old, all of that, than having to live their life. If I start praying for death, it means I've been so tortured. But one thing I've prayed for is thank you to God that I did not live like these people around me and doing these things to me. Thank you. And so as I'm slowly dying, this is something I want to be thankful for. Now, give me strength to deal with the theater. Because it's going to be painful. I'm a human, so I'm going to feel pain and react to pain. But to say that this is not a dignified life or death is a lie. There's dignity in this. It feels biblical. So to all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done.